and Jewish. He'd found safety here in Switzerland. She wondered if his family had been as lucky. "Anything else for you, madame? A little dessert, perhaps? Coffee?" "No, thank you." She knocked the glass, her hand suddenly as useless as a bat. Wine spilled across the table. Joseph sprang forward to repair the damage. "No need." She shook her head. "Clumsy of me." She held her hands on her lap and looked around at the immaculately laid tables, the stiff, starched linen, the gleam of the heavy silver cutlery, the glittering glassware, her fellow diners. Some of them frail, in wheelchairs, she noted. The staff must be used to different degrees of infirmity. She pushed herself back from the table. Anticipating that she was about to leave, Joseph was immediately at her side, whisking her chair away, offering her his arm. She declined his help and made her way slowly, Joseph hurrying in front of her, nodding to two young waiters to open the double doors. He bowed as she left. She smiled her thanks and wished him farewell. This was the last time she would be eating here, or anywhere. In a little less than 24 hours, Stella Snelling, restaurant critic and cookery writer, acclaimed and feared in equal measure, would be no more. She'd taken a suite with a view of the lake. The Art Deco furnishings were just shabby enough to be authentic. She'd had the black lacquer writing desk reversed so that it faced away from the fussy, fluted fan-shaped mirror. She found her appearance disconcerting. She had never expected to get this old, to live this long. Even with 10 years knocked off Stella's passport, she was looking her true age now. She wore no makeup, her black hair an untidy grey mane. The dark eyes, deep and hooded, had seen too much. The grooved lines etched on the forehead, by the sides of the mouth, carried too much pain. She hardly recognized this person she had become. In her dreams, she was always young. She opened the overnight bag that she'd brought with her, taking out a small green medical case. She removed the top tray holding the plasters, scissors, antiseptic cream, paracetamol, and tablets that any traveller might carry, to reveal a number of disposable hypodermic syringes, ampoules of diamorphine, and more of the drug in capsule form. She placed the drugs in the small refrigerator and took out the Koskenkorva vodka. She poured a glass, lit a cigarette, and went out onto the balcony. The light had almost gone. The lake was a dark, pewterish purple, the mountains opposite lost in a cold, bluish haze. A mist had risen, diffusing the last of the sunset, layering the lake with bloodied gauze. She sipped her drink, savouring the sharp, clear spirit. There were clinics here in Switzerland that offered a discreet service for the end of life. Such facilities were not openly advertised. She was wealthy, with no living relatives, and believed strongly in a person's right to choose how he or she wanted to die. Arrangements had been made, monies forwarded. For certain services, the clinic demanded prepayment. Tomorrow at 10:30, she had an appointment. A substantial further donation had guaranteed the director's personal attention. Nothing would be left to chance. Hence the diamorphine. The lake had turned to glittering blackness, the coloured lights of the quay dancing on its restless surface. Time to go back inside. She opened a leather attaché case and began to lay out the contents on the desk. A brochure for the Endymion Clinic, situated on the beautiful shores of Lake Geneva.